So hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video where today we're going to take a quick look at the Incarnon Boar Prime. Now, before we get into it, I just quickly want to mention that I was given all the new Incarnon adapters for free as soon as they went live in Circuit. This is because I'm a Warframe partner, so I just wanted to disclose that. So you can get the Incarnon Genesis adapter for the Boar from the Steel Path version of the Circuit game mode. Once you have the adapter, and the Boar of course, you can take them over to Cavalero in the Chrysolith to combine them. This does require some additional resources though. You will also need 20 Pathos Clams, which you get from the Auto-Worm boss fight, 60 Rune Marrow, which you can find in the Undercroft, and 60 Tasoma Extract, which is a mushroom that grows in the caves in the Paradox. This allows you to evolve the weapon and it unlocks its Incarnon mode. You build the Incarnon meter by headshotting enemies, and once you have any level of charge, which is actually somewhat difficult to build depending on the enemy you fight, you can press the secondary fire button to activate it. In this mode, the Boar completely changes, turning into a beam weapon that chains around and does pure heat damage. It basically turns into a heat-based Amprex. Now, before you can evolve the weapon and enjoy the benefits of that, you're gonna have to do a few things with it. So you're gonna have to finish a solo mission with the Boar, then you're gonna have to kill 100 enemies with its Incarnon mode, and finally you're gonna have to kill 30 enemies without reloading. The evolution options on the Boar are pretty straightforward. The first one has you choose between a Rifid Bane, which gives you damage and then even more damage if you reload from an empty magazine, and Fortress Salvo, which gives you damage and then punch through if you have over 450 armor. The second choice is between a Ready Retaliation, which gives you 100% reload speed if you're reloading from an empty magazine, Mercenary Chamber, which increases your ammo capacity up to 195, so you get 75 extra rounds, and Practiced Grip for more accuracy. And last but definitely not least, we have a choice between Elemental Balance for 12% extra status, Critical Parallel for extra 20% crit and 0.5 extra crit multiplier, and Survivor's Edge for 10% crit chance and 6% status chance. I ended up going with a combination of Fortress Salvo for the damage and punch through because I run armor-based frames. Then I went with Practiced Grip for the increased accuracy, which is always good on a shotgun, and I topped it off with Critical Parallel for the extra crit. The build is pretty much what you would expect. We have Galvanized Hell for multi-shot, Primed Ravage for crit damage, Critical Deceleration for crit chance, Hunter Munitions for slash procs on crits, then Galvanized Savvy for status chance and extra damage based on the number of status effects on the enemy, Blaze for heat damage and extra base damage, Frigid Blast and Toxic Barrage for vital and status, and we top it off with Primary Merciless for stacking damage and reload speed. The setup we have here in the Simulacrum is level 150 in Steel Path, and we have 10 Corrupted Butchers, mainly just to build up Merciless, and then 10 Corrupted Heavy Gunners to actually show the damage. And speaking about damage, it is very good, but it's not just good in the Incarnon mode. Yes, it's very nice to have the beam chain around and all that, but the Boar actually packs a punch even outside of the Incarnon mode. This is all thanks to the awesome crit buff that's provided by Critical Parallel. Because overall, the Boar Prime was a good gun, it just didn't have an awful lot of crit. So giving it a 35% base crit chance with a 2.5 times crit multiplier as well as a little bit of a buff to its base damage turns it into an absolute monstrosity. I must say this is one of my favorite Incarnon guns that I've tried so far, and I've tried most of them at this point. By far, my favorite thing about the Boar Prime is that both modes feel really good to use. I don't feel like I'm just trying to headshot enemies with the normal mode because I want to get into Incarnon mode, but I also don't feel like I'm activating the Incarnon mode just because I have it. Basically, I never feel like I'm using the worst version of the weapon. My experience is essentially, ooh, now I'm shotgunning things, very fun, ooh, now I'm gonna be beaming things for a while, fantastic. It's just very fun all around, and it does good damage regardless of which mode you're using. So as far as I'm concerned, the Incarnon Boar Prime is an absolute banger and I highly recommend it. Also, you have no idea how happy I am to see this weapon shine once again, because I still remember the day I picked up the Boar Prime and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And I was so sad to see it fall off as more powerful weapons that overshadow the Boar Prime were released. But anyway, as I've said, this is an absolute banger of an Incarnon Genesis upgrade, so definitely pick it up. And as always guys, I thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it helpful. I would like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. I really appreciate it guys, thank you very much. And if you would like to become a channel member as well, you can check out the memberships and stuff down below. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.